like almost 6 months.
It's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? They said that they were gonna put me up in a room and help me out as long as I'm willing to, you know, figure out my situation.
We don't really have a lot of family or nothing like that. And this is where we were in the meantime. This is not where we want to be, but we had to go through this transition.
They have a plan in place. They were able to, show that. And so with the city motel voucher program for the intern, we're able to put them there while they wait for their permanent housing to be in place.
I have a home now, so that's the good thing about it.
And we're thankful that we met you guys and we met the people that helped us, succeed into moving on in our lives.
What we're trying to do is not only make a connection and have them feel like here's another group that's coming through to talk to us, but actually get them to connected so that they can get into some level of housing support.
We're finally getting back on track, and I just want to thank you guys for that.
San Bernardino County has always been the biggest, and once again, we're the best. This year, we earned an incredible 200 achievement awards from the National Association of Counties, winning more than any other county for the third year in a row. There are more than 3,000 counties in the United States, and San Bernardino County continues to stand above them all in terms of accolades for innovation, efficiency, and public service. Under the Board of Supervisors' leadership, we were honored this year for making it easier to adopt a new pet, raising awareness of the dangers of fentanyl, bringing Wi-Fi connectivity to Ayala Park, safeguarding employee emails from phishing scams, cleaning up our communities, rebuilding the Birch Creek Culvert Crossing with storm readiness in mind, launching the County Museum's new and improved website, inspiring the next generation of county employees, improving access to health care records, supporting production of new housing units through a housing development fund. And this is just a sample of the 200 national awards that San Bernardino County earned for the services we provide to our residents and visitors.
We have received over 30 pieces of new large equipment. We now have a fleet of over 100 snow plowing machines. This additional shipment is crucial to our mission of serving and protecting the mountain communities of San Bernardino County.
We got new loaders, new blowers. We had some training today.
Part of the training is in preparation of the winter season. So we actually did some skid steer training, loader training. There's a new blower that Big Bear will receive.
All this new equipment is going to make us better and more efficient at what we do. Say it's snowing and all of a sudden it starts raining, it starts melting off the snow, and you got to move dirt and mud. You could go back to the yard, drop your bucket, put on the attachment that you need, and go back out there in a moment's notice.
Our equipment is staged and ready across the county. Our operations will be fully mobilized as soon as conditions require it.
We train our guys to be efficient. We teach them 2 passes, up one, down the other.
We do that because we need the width so that we can get emergency vehicles to come in or constituents cars out. All this equipment that we have now, it will be able to open up our streets quicker because it's stationed there and it's available for us.
This equipment not only prepares us for winter snow removal, but also strengthens our ability to respond to other emergencies, including wildfires, flooding, mudslides, and earthquakes.
It's more than just having equipment. It's about being proactive, organized, and ready to act when the storms come. We are actively participating in meetings with partnering agencies to coordinate and ensure a seamless response to our mountain regions, including Wrightwood and Mount Baldy. Our message to the public is simple. We are here for you. We are ready to help, and we will be there for you when you need us the most.
We're here today at the Lucerne Valley Branch Library to unveil our observatory that's the first of its kind in North America.
I do this because I know it's important to plant seeds to our kids. It's important to expose them to STEM type of activity.
I also believe in STEM. I'd like to say STEAM because I like to add the A for the arts in there. I believe that astrophotography is equal parts art and science.
I like a lot of astronaut and rocket science and stuff. And I just thought being here, seeing an astronaut would be very cool.
It's an important facility to have here for the community. It helps spread astronomy to places that it normally wouldn't reach.
San Bernardino County is committed to ensuring our communities have access to fun and safe educational opportunities that inspire learning for all ages.
It's really exciting to be a part of the county family and especially the county library to bring things like these to our residents. It's super important for us to expand both literacy but also other educational resources.
The library is a great resource to feed those streams. They're going to learn about the stars. They're going to learn about science. So I think this is the great starting point for a great educational career for the kids.
Today we are at the newly completed Birch Creek Bridge in Oak Glen. This project demonstrates the county commitment to disaster preparedness and disaster response. When Tropical Storm Hillary came through, it completely inundated this creek and destroyed the bridge.
The prior bridge crossing was a smaller 12x6 box culvert, which was heavily damaged by large boulders that came down the burn scar area. Our engineering department put together a quick project to replace the destroyed structure with two 10x10 precast boxes.
I'm extremely proud of our crews and our engineering teams for finding an innovative solution to replacing and repairing this bridge.
These two precast boxes tremendously improved the ability of water and debris to flow underneath the roadway. The project started in mid-September, and we're standing here now on the brand new bridge, which has been opened prior to Thanksgiving.
So often county projects get held up during design, or because of environmental concerns or material lead time. And this project, we were able to complete it in record time.
We have been cleaning channels, and installing mitigation measures like K-Rail in preparation for the upcoming winter season. We have cameras in place to monitor the area remotely and have pre-positioned barricades and equipment to close down roads quickly and begin the cleanup process as soon as the storm is over.
With the reopening of this road, visitors and residents now have full access to their homes and local businesses.
Disaster can strike at any moment. Whether it's a winter snowstorm, summer wildfire, or an earthquake, being ready is our best line of defense. San Bernardino County knows that we're stronger together, so we're asking you to prepare with us. Visit prepare.sbcounty.gov to equip yourself with knowledge. Sign up for emergency alerts or download our Ready SB County app. Learn how to create a family plan, assemble an emergency kit, and more. Preparedness is a responsibility we all share, and preparedness starts here.
Do you own a property in San Bernardino County? You may be owed a property tax refund. To find out if you have a refund, please visit the ATC website at sbcountyatc.gov. On the left side of the website, click Unclaimed Tax Refund Search. You can search for an unclaimed property tax refund by parcel number or street address. For example, if your address is 123 Palm Street, only enter 123 Palm in the search bar. There is no need to enter street, avenue, lane, or any other portion of your address. If you have an unclaimed refund, the bill number, parcel number, situs address, refund amount, and a link to the form will appear on screen. If you don't have a refund, you'll be notified of that as well. To request a claim form, click Form on the left-hand side of the screen, and the refund information will show on the next screen. If the mailing address is correct, click Yes and enter your name, email address, and phone number. If the mailing address is not correct, click No and complete the form, including where you want the form to be mailed. Your request will be processed in the order it was received, and the appropriate claim form will be mailed to the address provided. If you have any questions, please call 909-382-3090.
Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid. It's being made in somebody's garage or their home, not controlled. It's 50 times more powerful than heroin and 100 times more powerful than morphine.
Stop the Void is a California nonprofit corporation dedicated to educating and raising awareness in our communities about the scourge of fentanyl. We started this organization because I lost my own son, Daniel Puerta, who was only 16 and a half years old when he passed away due to fentanyl poisoning. Due to the stigma of addiction and overdose, most parents feel that this could never happen to them, and I'm truly sorry, but it can.
San Bernardino County started with the Fentanyl Doesn't Care, But We Do campaign. Fentanyl doesn't care if you're a mother, a father, a son, a daughter, a co-worker, a friend. It just doesn't care. But we do in the county of San Bernardino, and that's why we created this campaign to bring awareness to the community.
San Bernardino County and Stop the Void have partnered together. Come to San Bernardino County website, Department of Behavioral Health, look at all the resources that they have, and make sure that you speak to your children. Numbers just came out for 2022, and it's north of 109,800 drug deaths in the United States. Roughly 77% of all of those drug deaths were due to fentanyl. This is why this message and this campaign is so, so important. If you think that it can't happen to you, think twice.
As we look at this monument, may we reflect on the memories and lessons of each very precious life, because it is this, our shared story, with all its pain and tragedy, that binds us together as a diverse community of people around our county today, and even with those around our world. May this curtain of courage represent to you that we choose to join you in honoring the lives of your loved ones, our loved ones, and we'll never forget them.
December 2nd, 2015 was an unimaginable day for all of us. 14 people we loved were taken away from us on that day. Our employees were spiritually and physically wounded. It changed us all forever. Following the attack, the Board of Supervisors formed a memorial committee made up of family members, survivors, first responders, and county staff, so we could build something that would stand forever as a testament to our commitment never to forget.
The Curtain of Courage is a place for us, one of mourning, but also we want it to be a celebration of life, akin to a small set of chapels, each signifying an individual loss, but creating a place that marks this day and time.
And today, we're here to honor the memories of those that succumbed during that day, but also to honor those that are with us today and their families that move forward. To be able to see this curtain of courage gives us all in San Bernardino County, the state, and the nation, the courage to move forward.
In 2018, almost 3 years after the attack, the San Bernardino County December 2nd Legacy Report was published. It was intended to be a publicly available resource for communities and organizations that must respond and recover from similar situations. Already, that report is helping other families and other communities learn from your experience.
In America's largest county, you can get in touch with our recent history or journey all the way back to our ancient past. Camp, hike, fish, or just relax in diverse natural areas. Get up close with local wildlife, knowing your support makes their rehabilitation possible. And discover how our libraries connect you to cutting-edge technology and out-of-this-world experiences. In San Bernardino County, you'll find every adventure. San Bernardino County, opportunity plays here.
In 2006, my husband and I, we ended up homeless. We had this piece of property out here in Lucerne, so we moved on to that with our motorhome. And then code enforcement officer, Sherry Road Truck, showed up at our doors. She told us that we couldn't live where we were living because we didn't have any permits.
Regarding Sandy's case, the county has codes established and zoning requirements that would prohibit recreational vehicles being used as a residence. The reason why is because we often encounter issues like hazardous utility connections, improper waste disposal, and insufficient protection against the weather. These conditions can be dangerous for all involved.
We were actually escorted off our property. The lifestyle I was living wasn't very conducive to family, and I decided I needed to do something different. So that's actually started steps towards me changing my entire lifestyle.
Our officers are trained to establish a dialogue with the people involved. Through these conversations, we can gain a better understanding of their
Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order and thank you all for being here today. This morning, our pledge and invocation will be presented by the 2nd District.
Thank you, Chair Rao. It is my honor and privilege to introduce not only a friend, but a pastor and a great asset to our community, Pastor Shane Carroll. Shane is a part of Water of Life for over 33 years. He's joined Water of Life in 2007 as a global outreach and youth pastor, and for more than 10 years, worked alongside and led young kids, youth, and the Global Outreach Department. Currently, he fills the role of Associate Senior Teaching Pastor at Water of Life. Shane and his wife, Amanda, met at Water of Life and have been married since 2014. Shane studied political science at Cal State San Bernardino, holds a master's degree in theology from Fuller Seminary. But most importantly, Shane's the father to 4 beautiful children, Shaner, Abby, Dallas, and Deacon. Without further ado, Pastor Shane, would you come on up?
Good morning. Thank you, supervisors, for the honor to be here. As I prayed for this morning, there's a scripture out of Proverbs 3 that says in verse 1, it says, "My child," and this is Solomon, King David's son, writing and speaking to his kids. And he says, "Never forget the things I've taught you. Store my commands in your heart. If you do this, you will live many years, and your life will be satisfying. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder and write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. And seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take." And that's been called the principle of the path, and I wanted to pray that for you guys. Father, I do pray for our county, for our supervisors. Father, thank you for the privilege of service, to serve and give their lives away. Thank you for the sacrifices they regularly make, to give things up, to give their lives away to other people. And as they do that, I do pray, Lord, that they would trust you to lead their path, that as people, we don't get to determine our outcomes, but we do get to choose the path by which we take. I pray that they would listen, they would trust, they would follow you, and that you would continue to give them the grace, the humility, and the wisdom to lead as you've called them to lead. And so, Father, we just say thank you for their journey. Thank you for their lives. And I pray that today, this place would be full of your presence. They would hear from you, know what it is that you desire for the people that you love so deeply in San Bernardino County. And Father, we just say thank you. We love you. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Apparently, I'm supposed to say, ready, begin.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We will now move on to our memorial adjournments. Vice Chair Baca.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I do have one adjourned in memory, and this is for Rich Dower, born July 27th, 1952. He's formerly of Colton, California. And Rich Dower is considered one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of Colton High School. He was an All-American in basketball, baseball, and he also played football. He played baseball at San Bernardino Valley College, went to USC, was drafted by the Baltimore Orioles, won a world championship in 1983, and then had a great career with the Baltimore Orioles, and later on became a minor league coach, and then also coached in the major leagues and won a world championship in 2018 with the Houston Astros. I had the opportunity to be in a movie with Rich Dower, Stealing Home, which was filmed right here in San Bernardino. Played pickup basketball with him at Valley College, but Rich was a good man. He was Colton was near and dear in his heart. He was inducted in the Colton Hall of Fame. He used to have a camp right here at San Bernardino Valley College. So he used to do a lot here many, many years ago, but he had since retired, and just his health was not very well. So our heart goes out to the Dower family. He has 3 daughters, and our condolences go out to the Rich Dower family.
Thank you very much. And Supervisor Cook.
No.
Supervisor Armendariz. Supervisor Hegman. All right, and I would like to adjourn in memory today of our retired deputy, Scott Leach. Scott joined the Sheriff's Department in 2007. I knew him when he was stationed out in Morongo with our Sheriff's Search and Rescue Unit. He was also in the Desert Mountain Courts Division, as well as West Valley Detention Center, and he passed away unexpectedly on January 28th. So our thoughts and prayers are with the Leach family. This morning we have one special presentation, and I would like to ask Diana Alexander if she would introduce our speakers.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, members of the Board of Supervisors. Diana Alexander, Assistant Executive Officer, Human Services. I'm very excited to be here this morning, more than I thought I would be, because of a request from the Chair's office. Today we get to highlight a division in our county that does so much work behind the scenes that we don't know about, but they are a crime-busting, fraud discovering group of individuals, and they're so excited about this presentation that they came out in force. So I would like to ask those who are here from the
Program Integrity Fraud Unit Special Investigations to please stand. You see how excited they were. Thank you all. You can sit down. So to give the presentation, we have our Division Chief over Program Integrity, Ms. Sheila Jackson, and we also have our Special Investigations Unit Chief, Mr. Greg Mahoney. I'll turn it over to Sheila, and then you can introduce Greg.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Sheila Jackson. I serve as the Division Chief for the Human Services Program Integrity Division. Today, we are here to highlight the amazing work that my Special Investigations Unit does. To begin, I would like to provide a brief overview of the Program Integrity Division. Program Integrity is, next slide, please, sorry. Program Integrity is a Human Services Administration Support Division that provides supportive services to the Transitional Assistance Department, Children and Family Services, and the Department of Aging and Adult Services Public Guardian. We do this by fulfilling state-mandated functions, managing specialized projects, and other complex actions. Program Integrity is dedicated to ensuring that public assistance funds are administered with integrity, fairness, and equity. Next slide, please. Can we go back one slide? Sorry. Program Integrity is comprised of 4 units. We have the Appeals Unit, which collaborates with the California Department of Social Services to conduct state-administered hearings and civil rights investigations. We have the Case Review Unit, which works closely with CFS. They conduct critical incident investigations and grievance hearings. And we have a Quality Review Unit. They conduct a wide variety of case reviews. They manage the electronic benefit transfer, also known as EBT, theft replacement, and other special projects. And we're here today to talk about the Special Investigations Unit, so I will turn that over to Greg Mahoney, Chief of Investigations.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you for this unique opportunity to share the history, purpose, focus, and challenges of the San Bernardino Human Services Special Investigation Unit. To give you a little history and context of why we exist, the Special Investigation Unit was created in the 1980s by a California mandate to investigate welfare fraud occurring within the welfare system. Within that newly created position, other laws were created to ensure that all welfare fraud investigators had to be peace officers. Our mandated responsibilities: the Special Investigation Unit exists for the purpose of investigating suspected welfare fraud. We're to investigate suspected violations of any other law in connection with the matters for which the County Welfare Department has responsibility. We're to function as a liaison between County Welfare Department and outside law enforcement agencies, that's your local, state, and federal agencies. We're to protect the integrity of the county welfare program from criminal acts. We're to safeguard the county's welfare monies from theft, and we're to protect the welfare recipients from the theft of their welfare benefits. Next slide, please. Now, the composition of San Bernardino County welfare investigators is pretty much the same for each and every one. All fraud investigators must have an active California Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training certificate before being hired. That organization is called POST. All must have previous law enforcement experience with police agencies. And most of my folks have got over 20 years with a municipal police or county sheriff department. With that experience, they bring a multitude of specialties from previous law enforcement. It is investigations into homicide, embezzlement, narcotics, special weapons and tactical units, and even some of them have been in management and leadership roles in their past job. Next slide, please. The crimes we primarily focus on are criminal codes within the Welfare and Institution Code. Those cover theft, misrepresentation, false and fictitious applications, counterfeiting or altering of cards, and embezzlement even by internal employees. We will also investigate any other criminal codes discovered violated during our investigation. Human Services also contracts with the San Bernardino County District Attorney's Office for focused and vertical prosecution of welfare fraud offenders. They maintain a dedicated team with expertise and knowledge of our unique case needs. Next slide, please. Our typical field operations are unannounced visits to recipient homes, work location, and to interview recipients and view their living conditions. Surveillance operations we conduct to assist in the verification of facts, collection of evidence. We find witnesses, service search warrants, service arrest warrants, and provide mutual aid to local law enforcement with high-risk scenarios. Next slide, please. Our liaison operations are vast due to the uniqueness of our mandates. We have liaison operations with the California Department of Social Services, the Fraud Bureau and Law Enforcement Branch. We interact with neighboring special investigation units to share best practices and new crime chains. We join multi-county EBT benefit thefts operations. We assist the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department on Operation Consequence and their fentanyl response team. We deal with federal bureaus of Homeland Security, Secret Service. We even outreach to nonprofits like the California Welfare Fraud Investigators Association and United Council on Welfare Fraud. Next slide, please. Statistics. Most departments are run by statistics, and we are no different. Our 2024 current statistical information, we have completed over 6,000 investigative referrals in that year. We have sent 200 criminal complaints to the district attorney for filing consideration with a 90% successful filing rate. We've identified stolen funds which are subject to recovery by either criminal or civil proceedings of almost $4 million in 2024. The EBT criminal impact on San Bernardino, which we are actively combating, is huge. And to put that into perspective, over 15,000 recipient households were victims of EBT benefit theft in San Bernardino, and a total funds reimbursed to those above recipients is over $14 million in 2024. And those statistics are the reason we're in a constant fight to reduce the theft occurrence in San Bernardino County. Next slide, please. Few unit milestones. 2017, we began rebuilding the unit. 2020, the Board of Supervisors permitted the Special Investigations Unit to become a post agency, and that has helped immensely with recruitment and keeping the unit professional. In 2022 to 2024, we became the primary investigative agency responsible for EBT benefit theft. We immediately began operations, and we were the first unit to assist local agencies with transnational criminal syndicate investigations. We have effectively led the way in EBT ATM theft operations, resulting in 40 arrests, and the operation has been so successful that when filmed by SEBA, the producer won an Emmy Award. Next slide, please. I'd like to close our presentation with a final fiscal fact. The Special Investigation Unit is one of the only law enforcement agencies wherein the work performed translates into recoverable monies which negate the cost of the unit. Law enforcement spending is a significant part of government spending, but we are the one unit that negates that reality. I wish to thank the Board of Supervisors and the County Administration Office for their time and positive support they offer our investigative unit. Your support is mirrored throughout the executive team of Human Services and creates an atmosphere which triggers excitement and achievement. The board's proactive stance to protect the taxpayers' monies and the poorest of its communities is a standard all other counties should imitate, and I thank you very much for your support.
Thank you again for allowing them to do this presentation today. Staff are available for any questions you may have at this time.
I just want to thank the entire team for all that you do for our county and our residents. And I learned several months ago more about the unit and how you are enabling the recovery of so many funds that have been stolen and how it is impactful to the lives of our residents. And when you think about the stats, we have 15,000 households that have been positively impacted, and then the recovery of the funds, just $15 million over that 1 year span. So thank you very much for all of your efforts. Any questions from my colleagues? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Anyway, thank you very much. We appreciate your service to the county. right, we will now move on to our reports from County Council. Tom.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have 3 reportable items from closed session. The first item is in the case of John Doe versus County of San Bernardino et al. The Board of Supervisors voted 4-0, with Supervisor Armendariz absent, to appeal the judgment in this case involving the alleged failure to report child neglect. Second, the Board of Supervisors voted 5-0 to file legal challenges to 2 rules adopted by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services regarding reimbursement rates for medical services provided by Arrowhead Regional Medical Center to Medicare patients. Third, the Board of Supervisors voted 5-0 to file 2 lawsuits, one against Cigna Healthcare of California, Inc., Cigna Health and Life Insurance Company, and Connecticut General Life Insurance Company, and the other against Aetna Health of California, Inc., Aetna Life Insurance Company, and Aetna Health Management, seeking additional reimbursement for medical services provided to members by Arrowhead Regional Medical Center. Thank you.
Thank you. Reports from our CEO, Luther.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Nothing to report this morning.
Well, our individual board comments. Vice Chair Baca.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to thank, Code Enforcement and Land Use Services for the 2 tremendous community cleanup days we had in unincorporated Rialto and unincorporated Colton. And just hearing the feedback from the residents was just so valuable. So they're very, very appreciative of the services that we tried to provide in our unincorporated area. So hats off to Code Enforcement for the great work they're doing. Just want to congratulate Community Development Housing. They celebrated the 50-year anniversary of Community Development Block Grant money and had opportunity to talk to staff and just really thank staff for the great work they're doing. A lot of times, staff gets, it doesn't always get recognized. I thought it was important that we recognize them. They did receive an award for Bloomington Grove and Lillian Court Affordable Housing. So great projects. An opportunity to speak at the Diversity and Inclusion Forum with many of our department heads and our leadership here. And it's great that we continue to make sure that we have inclusivity in our county of San Bernardino. And most of all, be thoughtful of how people think and their ideas and being accepting of people's ideas. The other thing is I did a ride-along with Southern California Edison and really tried to get educated on the public safety power shutoffs and really had a better understanding of it and how it works. Has a big impact on many of our county areas, but specifically for the 5th District, Rosina Ranch and the Bloomington community. Also this past weekend, we had our Kite Day. I want to thank Regional Parks and all our county staff that was there, ARMC, and all the staff that were there. We had about 170 participants, many families. It was just a great event, great weather, and really want to thank the regional partners for coming together to make a beautiful day for our families. And just want to congratulate Jaden Daniels. He's one of our local products right here from San Bernardino, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Very, very proud of him. I mean, he's received tremendous amount of accolades. He's been a national figure, but someone that's come right from our county and right from our community is just something to be proud of. I think we should celebrate it. Just want to highlight a few items from the board. Item number 17, it's discretionary money going to the Colton Joint Unified School District for Joe Baca Middle School to do some improvements on a synthetic track and athletic fields, which is going to be important for that community, which borders Rialto and Bloomington. And just also want to thank for the non-financial contract agreement, item 23, where it's going to help our preschool services department. It's really going to create a pipeline for staff and create internships for Valley College to come and intern at our preschool department. And the last one is just item 24. It's to add additional funding for our preschool services department. One of the things we've been able to do is contract with many school districts, and this has been important because one of the things that preschool services offers is a large amount of services that our schools do not offer. So many school districts are wanting to expand those services on their campuses, so just great work by staff. And the last thing is just OmniRide. Omnitrans had a OmniRide Day. I just want to thank my staff for going out there. We actually rode through San Bernardino, stopped at Cal State San Bernardino, went through Muscoy, and then back to San Bernardino. That concludes my comments, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Armendariz.
Thank you, Chair. I want to start just giving people a few updates. I was able to tour a nonprofit, Shoes That Fits, in the city of Upland. The organization was dedicated to providing shoes to those in need. So with kids who can't afford a pair of Nikes or Adidas or New Balance, they actually provide those shoes to the children and just to help lift their spirits and make them more confident. And then just to see all the actions that they do, millions and millions of shoes they give away across the U.S. So it was great to see what we have right in Upland. We also toured Aldine Apartments, the grand opening in the city of Fontana is one of many of their affordable projects that they put together on Foothill, and they actually have a component of it built just to help prevent homelessness in the community. So those just got opened. We also took a tour of the district attorney's office in Rancho Cucamonga. I want to personally thank our district attorney, Jason Anderson, for doing the tour with me. Just to see how much caseload these people work with and how our justicial system works was a great insight for me. So thank our district attorney, Jason. And then we took a tour of the probation department's training facility in Rancho Cucamonga. Thank you to Chief Tracy Reese and her team for extending a tour of all the things that they do, including that what I did not realize is how vital of a part they play with our rehabilitation and how they partner with our behavioral health. So thank them for taking the time to tour me on that. Also want to highlight a few items that are on the agenda. I want to welcome the reappointment of Jennifer Oglesby to our Behavioral Health Commission. Jennifer is a dedicated professional with over 20 years experience as a mental health and behavioral health field. She owns and operates several residential facilities with a commitment to enhance the lives of individuals with developmental disabilities through personal care, support, and programs designated to foster independence. Her leadership and dedication to serve has made her a trusted advocate and a force to be reckoned with when it comes to making a positive change. Also want to introduce on the agenda Michael Hall, also one of my behavioral health commissioners that will be hopefully being appointed today. Michael comes from a background with the Fontana Police Department with over 25 years of service, 20 years as SWAT negotiator, and served as the instructor for mental health for the department. Mike is no stranger to the county. For those who know him, he actually was the one who started the community outreach support team, otherwise known as COAST, at the city of Fontana. This program has inspired other organizations like our behavioral health department, County Fire, and many others. I'm excited to see him come and join us as part of our team. I want to highlight item 39 with the workforce development and just commend our county workforce for accepting a grant from California Workforce Development and partnering with the Reentry Opportunity Program. This will target federal incarcerated individuals as they reenter our society. This is important because I believe that second chances should be given to everyone, and an opportunity to help these people not only reinforces their rehabilitation, but reduces their recidivism. Another item I'd like to point out is item 42, our fire protection district. A lot of you don't realize, but recently with the fires that we experienced in the bridge and the line fires, and we can even point to the Palisade fires. The reason I say this is because there's some context. During the bridge and line fires, our fire district employed all of their fire apparatuses for these fires and called out all of their firefighters back to work. Some had troubles actually getting extra engines to work. LA is a perfect example of this, where it became a huge problem for the Palisades fire, where a big part of their fleet was actually not in service and had mechanical problems. This item will show how our fire district and our board are working and thinking forward to make sure that this never happens to us in the San Bernardino County. Some backstory on this. Currently, we have 26 pieces of equipment, and most of them are about 21 years old. Here are the numbers. Maintaining and repairing the equipment cost the county about $930,000 with about 4,300 man-hours of labor. We currently have 9 new fire apparatuses on order, but due to supply chain and tariffs are going into effect, this could take possibly 3 years, if not more, to arrive. So the board got creative. We're looking for purchasing what is called quick delivery fire trucks. That will be better for us because we will receive these between 8 and 10 months and not 3 years or more. So how does this look for us being fiscally responsible? This is an opportunity that we have a huge savings. We avoid tariffs and inflationary costs. By identifying some of these apparatuses that other agencies we're thinking about buying and haven't inquired yet, we can have some leverage. Once we receive the 10 trucks, they will be on the front line and ready to serve the public. And will eventually be moved to our reserves when the additional 9 come in, hopefully within the next 3 years. Overall, I'm proud of the board and the fire district for what they have done and their involvement in prioritizing and ensuring the safety of our community. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Supervisor Cook. Supervisor Hagman.
Thank you. I'm pretty short this morning. I just want to announce Ontario International Airport has a new nonstop, or will begin a nonstop flight from Ontario to Chicago, and that's an important hub for the East Coast. So I think it's going to give us a lot more options. I'm not supposed to announce this yet because it's not official, but we'll also be having 3 new flights to Mexico, including a vacation destination in the next week or so. So we're looking forward to. Don't plan your summer vacations yet till you check Ontario. Okay. Recently, the fires in LA, SCAG recently held a joint policy committee on resilience, and we'll be working with local governments to basically how do we harden our assets, whatever it is, against any kind of tragedies within the region. And we'll continue to work on that and work with our local governments. Several events coming up, but one I want to point out was the Chino Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast on February 25. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Do we have a carrier name on the nonstop, or you can't announce that?
One more week.
Okay. I just wanted to mention yesterday I participated in a mass casualty training incident with County Fire, Joshua Tree National Park, CAL FIRE, Morongo Basin Ambulance, and a number of other agencies. We did it way deep into the national park, which spans the boundaries of Riverside County and San Bernardino. There are absolutely no cell phone reception towers in there at all, and then different agencies with different radio frequencies. And so it was a staged mass casualty with students from various high schools and role players that help coordinate then the response by our multi-agency efforts. And it was intense. It was great training. It's wonderful to see all that they're doing to stay on top of keeping our residents and visitors safe in the county. So thank you to all the agencies involved there. And with that, we will move on to Lynna. Do we have any revisions or additions to today's agenda?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Today, we do not have any changes.
Very good. If a board member has a conflict of interest that they would like to disclose, now would be the time to do so. All right, seeing none, we will move on to our consent calendar, which today consists of items 2 through 48. I will begin by having our public comment. Public comment is given from the podiums on either side at the back of the chambers. You are limited to 3 minutes. When it reaches 30 seconds left on your time, it will turn orange, and at the end of the 3 minutes, it will turn red. And our first request to speak is Brandy Augenstein, who will be followed by Jeanette Burton.
Good morning, council members. First off, I'd like to thank you for your time and dedication to the community members and businesses of San Bernardino County. I most recently came to the Board of Supervisor meetings on behalf of the Wild Burros and Ridgey Canyon and Santa Mateo Canyons. Our group feels heard and is looking forward to supporting the work between San Bernardino County and Donkeyland to increase safety for burros and community members alike. While San Bernardino County is moving in the right direction in canceling the contract with Peaceful Valley and working to negotiate a reasonable contract with Donkeyland, there's still much work to be done, and I myself will be rolling up my sleeves and helping Donkeyland with castration for herd management. So thank you for hearing us on the burro issue. But the burro issue brought up a very important issue in our community, which is representation. It's taken a small army of voices in our community members to be heard on the burro issue. Because community input was overlooked in the burro issue and many other issues, the community members of Ridgey Canyon requested development of a municipal advisory council to support our community and advise the Riverside and San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors on all matters related to Ridgey Canyon. This multi-county MAC would span parts of both Riverside's 5th District and San Bernardino's 3rd District. As a community that resides in both counties, we believe developing the Ritchie Canyon MAC will help address our unique needs while providing an avenue for sharing information and gathering community input. While the paved sections of Ritchie Canyon Road spans only 7 miles, Ritchie Canyon includes parts of Colton, Loma Linda, Redlands, Moreno Valley, unincorporated areas of Riverside, and unincorporated areas of San Bernardino County. This multi-jurisdictional span represents unique challenges to residents, visitors, businesses, law enforcement, fire protection, and of course, our wildlife. Bordered to the north by the suburban city of Colton and to the south by the suburban city of Moreno Valley, our small rural agricultural community has drastically different needs than our neighboring areas. Development in both counties has caused an increase in traffic congestion in Ritchie Canyon, with travel times often exceeding 45 minutes for the 7-mile stretch in the morning and even longer in the evening. Many homeowners in our community no longer have fire insurance because their plans were canceled by their providers. Law enforcement response is often delayed or unresponsive due to jurisdictional issues, leading to increased crime and decreased traffic safety. The city of Colton continues to push for adjustments to the Ritchie Canyon Specific Plan despite community outcry. And most importantly, the recent fires in the Pacific Palisades highlighted the need for coordinated planning for evacuation and water supply in Ritchie Canyon, which is categorized as a very high fire severity zone and primarily relies on private water wells for fire defense. Many of these issues can be addressed and resolved by bringing county and city representatives together with their community members to explore solutions, share information, and help our community navigate and access existing county resources. We implore you to support our request to develop the Ritchie Canyon Municipal Advisory Council to support and protect our community. We reside in Ritchie Canyon because of the rural lifestyle it affords. We endeavor to protect our community members, wildlife, and preserve our Western way of life as a cultural and historical part of California's splendor. Thank you for your consideration. I appreciate your time as a 4th-generation Ritchie Canyon resident. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move on to our next speaker, I have to apologize. I moved on to our speakers who were signed up for general public comment. So we'll continue on with Jeanette Burton, and then we'll go to the speakers who are actually on the consent calendar. So Jeanette, you'll be our last one for the general public comment, and then we'll have Melanie McDonald up on the consent.
Good morning. Thank you. As you know, we are continually concerned about the boroughs and what is going on. We have asked you, and we are asking you again, to please look into what has happened to our boroughs. We are thoroughly concerned with what has happened with Peaceful Valley Sanctuary. We worry about what is happening to them and what is going to happen to them. We are asking you to look into working with us and working with the future of the boroughs. You need to understand that the boroughs provide for us and for the community. They are a part of the nature. We know that there are limitations to what you can do, but we look forward to asking you to help us and to help the boroughs because we need to be their voice. We are concerned and we are worried. It is not just the boroughs here in this area. It is the boroughs all over Southern California. Because if our boroughs were first, we are also concerned with Big Bear. You are public servants. You are held to a higher standard. We know that there are things that can be done. We are asking you for your help. You are hired and you are brought on and you are voted in. We need to know that you are on our side. There are so many things that we cannot and will not allow. You see before you, you're public. You are public officials. It is now time for you to work with us and for us. That is what we asked for. The boroughs are our main concern. We are here for a reason. We are reaching out to you. We want you to reach out to us. This is the reason that we are here. The boroughs need your help. We do not know what is happening to them. Peaceful Valley will not respond to us. We are only going by what we are hearing, and it is not positive. So we ask you and we implore you to work with us again. Things happen behind the scenes. We are asking you now to work with us, to use your power. San Bernardino County is the largest county. There has to be more that can be done. I stand before you asking for your assistance. We are looking forward to hearing back from you. We will not stop coming here because the boroughs deserve more. San Bernardino County is a strong and powerful county. Please do what you can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Melanie McDonald, who will be followed by Marco Enriquez.
Good morning, Chairwoman Rowe and members of the board. I am Melody McDonald, President of the San Bernardino Valley Water Conservation District, and I'm here to speak in support of item 21. We are extremely excited about our partnership with the San Bernardino County Museum and putting in our waterways guidance. With me today, I'd like to introduce in the audience too, we have our General Manager, Ms. Betsy Miller, and our in-house counsel, David Cosgrove. And I just want to also compliment you and compliment Director David Myers, who of the County Museum. He's been such a pleasure and delight to work with, and we're looking forward to this partnership. Just a little history, my little agency, I call it a little agency, but it's been recharging the groundwater basin for over 112 years. We have data on that, and replenishing what we do to provide water for the citizens of this region. So thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you very much. Marco Enriquez, who will be followed by Cole Fisk.
Article 37. Good morning, board members, county staff, and fellow residents. I represent blue-collar workers. I'm a taxpayer, and most importantly, I'm a dad. My son and I love golf, and Parlo Golf Course has been a place where we bond, learn, and enjoy an affordable way to play a sport that teaches discipline, patience, and integrity. Unlike many other courses in the region, Prado is one of the few places where working-class families like mine can afford to pay. Golf has always been a sport for the elite, but Prado breaks that barrier. It's a course where kids, beginners, and lifelong golfers can enjoy the game without breaking the bank. One of the best things about Prado is their junior golf program. My son, like so many other kids, gets the chance to learn the game in a supportive environment. He's not just learning golf, he's learning lessons. The program is shaping the next generations of golfers, keeping kids active and giving them a positive outlet in a world that desperately needs more of that. But all of that risks if this board moves forward with a closed-door, single-source negotiation. If this decision is made without competition, without looking for the best operator, and without considering what's truly best for the taxpayers, families, and junior golfers, the future of Prado is in jeopardy. Will the new operator care about keeping golf affordable for the working families? Will they continue to support junior golf programs, or will they push them aside for profit? Will Prado remain a golf course that belongs to the people, or will it turn into an exclusive facility? How can we know if they'll only negotiate with one party? I urge the board to reject backroom deals in the sale of this process to be competitive bidding. Let's ensure that Prado stays affordable, accessible, and continues to serve the families and kids who love it. My son and so many other kids in the country deserve that chance. Please do the right thing and put this contract out for bid and give Prado the full future it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cole Fisk, followed by Irina Gabrielis.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Cole Fixie, and I would like to speak on item 37. I've been playing golf at Prado course since I was a child, and I've watched my family play high school golf here. And now as a participating member of Prado's Golf Club, I see firsthand how improvements to the course to our community. I stand before you today because this course deserves better. Prado Golf Course is more than just a business venture. It is a vital part of our local culture and a home for families, young golfers, and seasoned players alike. It deserves a management team that is fully committed to investing in the facility's future and making a much-needed improvements it requires to thrive. Right now, you are considering a sole source deal with a group that has less than 2 years of experience in managing a golf course. that raises serious concerns about their ability to maintain and elevate Prado standards. A course like Prado, one with deep community roots and longstanding significance, deserves a fair and competitive selection process where experienced operators can present proposals and truly reflect on the course's needs and potential. By bypassing an open bid process, Prado is being denied an opportunity to secure its best possible management team. Instead progressing, Prado has been neglected. In 2 years, the only visible improvements have been a clock and a fence. This is simply unacceptable in a facility with so much potential. I urge you to give Prado a real chance, open up the process, allow experienced golf courses operators to bid, ensure that the future of this course is placed in the hands of a team that will prioritize golf, taxpayers, and future generations, not just short-term financial interests. Please remove item 37 from the consent calendar and let Prado's future be decided fairly and transparently. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Irina Gabrieles, I apologize, and then followed by Dave Bell.
Good morning, board members, county staff, and fellow residents. I've been involved in organizing nonprofit fundraisers at El Prado Golf Course for years. Golf tournaments are a great way to bring the community together and raise money for important causes, and Prado has always been an affordable, accessible place to do that, until recently. This past year, I've heard from many high school golfers who are extremely disappointed to find out that there was no invitational at Prado. That tournament has always been a highlight of the season for young golfers, giving them the chance to compete, connect, and showcase their skills. Why was it suddenly gone? On top of that, working with the course for fundraising events has become much more difficult. Under previous management, we were able to easily coordinate tournaments and nonprofit events without unnecessary red tape. The current management, not so much. It's been harder to plan, harder to get straight answers, and harder to feel like the golf course actually wants to work with the community. So I have to ask, why is the county negotiating with this group only? Why shut out experienced golf managers who have a proven track record of working with nonprofits in the community? Why isn't this being put out for bid to find the best operator for the long-term success of Prado? Why is the board assuming that the only option is the current management when so many of us have had a worse experience under them? I'm not here to fight anyone. I just want to work with reasonable, experienced golf managers who know how to support nonprofits and community events. That's what makes the golf course successful, and that's what brings people back. Please do the right thing for Prado, for the taxpayers, and for the young golfers who deserve better. Open this up for fair competition and give the course the future it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dave Bell, followed by Alexander Schloman.
Hi, I'm Dave Bell, speaking on article number 37. Good morning, board members, county staff, and fellow residents. My name is Dave Bell. I'm a local businessman, golfer, and cigar enthusiast when I golf. It's starting to create issues at home, though my wife doesn't like cigars, but that's another issue. I want to express my concerns about the direction this board is taking with the Prado Golf Course. Like many in the community, I've noticed a decline in customer service and overall experience at the course in recent years. I understand that change takes time, but when I look at what's actually been done under the current management, I struggle to see the justification for awarding them a sole source deal without competition. Let's look at the improvements we've seen. A clock was installed with the developer's name on it. A fence was put around the driving range, which feels more restrictive than welcoming. Yes, they brought in new golf carts, but let's be honest, that's a standard lease agreement that could be transferred to any qualified operator. So what exactly warrants the county cutting off all competition and deciding this group is the only one who should operate Prado? I've heard concerns that opening this up to competitive bidding would cause disruption to public use, but let's be real. Transitioning a lease for a golf course is not a difficult process. Any qualified operator could take over seamlessly without interrupting public access or the golfer experience. At the end of the day, this is about ensuring I've heard concerns that opening this up to competitive bidding cause disruptive to the public use, but let's be real. Sorry, I already read that. At the end of the day, this is about ensuring the best possible future for Prado Golf Course, its customers, and the taxpayers who support it. The best way to do that is through fair and open competition. I urge the board to do what's right. Put this out to bid, see what the market offers, and make a decision that truly benefits the community, not just a select few. Fair and open competition. Thank you.
Alexander Schloman, followed by Adriana Arias.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Alex Schleman, and I am here today because of Prado Golf Course. Prado Golf Course has been a huge part of my life. I played high school golf there. I still play in the men's club, and I want to see this course thrive for years to come. But right now, Prado is being neglected. The county is pushing a sole source deal for an operator that has done little to improve the course in 2 years. The only changes have been a clock and a fence, not exactly the type of investment that golfers, taxpayers, or their community deserve. Let's be clear, a sole source deal does not guarantee the best outcome for Prado. Golfers see the course conditions every day. We know what's working and what's not. If the county allows multiple groups to compete for the lease, we know there are better options out there. A fair and open bidding process is the only way to ensure that Prado gets an operator who actually cares about the game, cares about the course, and wants to make it better. Please do the right thing, remove item 37 from the consent calendar, and let Prado's future be decided through open competition, not behind closed doors. Thank you.
Thank you. Adriana Arias, followed by Bernie Gabrieles.
Buenos días, supervisores y miembros de la comunidad. Good morning, members of the board. My name is Adriana Arias, and I'm a San Bernardino County resident, a mother, and a proud member of our Spanish-speaking community. I'm here today to speak on behalf of families like mine who love our parks, our public spaces, and the opportunities they provide for our children. We ask for fairness in the process for Prado Golf Course. Pedimos justicia y transparencia. Public land belongs to all of us, and decisions about its future should be made fairly and not behind closed doors. Right now, the county is considering a sole source negotiation for Prado Golf Course. That means one group, without competition, could be handed control of this public space. ¿Por qué no abrir el proceso a otras empresas? Why not allow competition to ensure the best option is chosen for our community? As a mother, I see how important it is for our kids to have a well-maintained outdoor spaces. If we don't select the best group to manage Prado Golf Course, we risk losing opportunities for investment, better facilities, and fair pricing that benefits all residents. Right now, the county is proposing at least at $5,000 a month, that the current revenue is between $25,000 and $30,000 a month. ¿Cómo es posible que esta cantidad sea lo mejor para todos los contribuyentes? We want to see our tax dollars used wisely, not handed away in a deal that does not benefit the community. We're simply asking for fair competition. If the current operator is truly the best choice, then let them compete and prove it. That is how we get the best outcome for the county, for taxpayers, and for future generations. Por favor, escuchen a la comunidad. Families are watching, and we want transparency, fairness, and the best decision for all residents. Les pedimos que remuevan el punto número 37 del consentimiento y abran el proceso a la competencia justa. Thank you very much. Gracias.
Thank you. Bernie Gabrielse, followed by David Kuman.
Good morning. My name is Bernie Gabriels, and I'm a longtime Chino resident and golf community member. I've lived in San Bernardino for almost 50 years, and I'm an occasional golfer at El Prado Golf Course. But mostly, I've been involved with running golf tournaments for Ontario Christian Boosters Club and Food for Life Ministries at El Prado. Over the years, I have worked with previous management to run golf tournaments for nonprofit events that have brought our community together while supporting important local causes. This current ownership has made it very difficult to run a nonprofit tournament with huge down payments and a guarantee for huge numbers of golfers, which is hard to predict. Just as an example, this coming year, we're going to be forced to give a deposit of $7,600, and it's non-refundable, which guarantees we need to have 144 golfers. Previously, we used to have to give a $1,000 deposit, and they would charge us for however many golfers came. And which was fair and allowed us to make a decent profit, which now is going to be turned mostly over to the golf course, which to me seems very unjustifiable. El Prado Golf Course has consistently met our needs because of location, and it's a good, challenging course. I also care about the best interests of San Bernardino County, its taxpayers, of which I'm one, and the Army Corps of Engineers, owners of the land that falls in the floodplain. What happens here today doesn't just impact golfers, but it affects all taxpayers because of this public land that belongs to the community and not a private entity. County supervisors, this decision should not be rushed behind closed doors. As a board, you must ask, why hasn't this gone out to bid? Another bidder might pay double that of the only bid that we've allowed. Number two, why isn't the county allowing fair competition to determine the best operator who will wisely spend money on the needed improvements? Number three, who is truly benefiting from a single course negotiation? Certainly not the taxpayer. The right thing to do, I believe, is for the county, for taxpayers, and for the golf community is to open this process up to competitive bidding. That's obviously how you get the best financial deal for the county and to ensure the course gets the proper improvements for the future generations of golfers. I've seen what good management on a golf course can do and the community it serves. I've also seen what happens when a course is mismanaged. El Prado deserves an operator that will invest in the course, make real improvements, and create a fun environment where both golfers and the public can benefit. Why not? The Army Corps of Engineers, which ultimately
That's time.
Thank you very much. Dave Kuman, who will be followed by Jack Schleelman.
Good morning, supervisors. It's now been 10 months since we began this process to prevent exactly what is on the consent calendar today, which is item 37. Based on our research of public records, this was one of the last items added to the agenda on Friday, and it should be removed. The public deserves better. Over the past 10 months, we've engaged in every avenue available to us. We've met with your staff. We have presented at Parks Commission multiple times during public comment. We have spoken directly with real estate and the Parks Department. Every individual we worked with was professional and genuinely cared about this county. But there was one common theme. They couldn't help us. They couldn't answer our questions. Everything pointed back right to this room and the Board of Supervisors and the decisions regarding this long-term lease. Here's a timeline of events. In June, we submitted our proposal as an unsolicited proposal as directed by real estate. Both departments acknowledged receipt and confirmed that the Prado master plan was under development. We were told to seek answers at the board level. Yet despite repeated attempts, there was no willingness to meet with us for 6 months. We continue to push forward through the commission, through parks and real estate in an effort to get answers. Then something unacceptable happened. Our proposal, submitted only to county employees, somehow ended up in the hands of the very operator you are now voting to sole source this deal with. Let me repeat that. Our confidential proposal was given to the competing operator you're planning to negotiate only with. In return, that operator terminated the long-term employment of an individual who has decades of experience managing this very golf course and was part of the original lease negotiations with the county. That individual was sidelined with the current sublease holder who used political connections to secure their current deal as a sublease. And now the board is considering locking in a non-competitive deal with a group that lacks experience and ties to the golf community. Does that sound like smart governance? Does that sound fair to the public? After 6 months, we were finally able to secure a meeting. However, when we asked why this deal was not going out to bid, the justification simply did not hold up. There was no sound explanation for why the county would not seek competitive bids to ensure the best outcome for taxpayers and the long-term success of the course. Yet here we are today, still fighting a non-competitive sole source bid. Let me ask again, when did this become the standard in San Bernardino County? How is this in the best interest of the taxpayers? This needs to stop. It only takes one of you today to demand further discussions on this item. Just one supervisor can remove this from today's agenda and ensure that this is handled properly and get all the facts through an open bid process that maximizes taxpayer value. There's no rush to pass this deal today. Real estate and parks professionals can handle this process and return in April with a fair, competitive proposal. By doing this, you reduce legal risk for the county, You ensure fairness, you empower your county employees to act in the public's best interests, and you demonstrate transparency and restore public trust. Remove item 37 from the consent calendar. It's the right thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack Shillman, followed by Eric Fixie.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Jack Schlayman, and I grew up playing high school golf at El Prado. But even before that, I played there with my grandpa. For years, my whole entire family has played at this golf course and felt nothing but home. Today, I'm part of the men's club and the summer league, and I still play here regularly. This golf course means a lot to me and the hundreds of golfers who call it home. There's a community like no other there. And that's why I'm asking you to remove item 37 from the consent calendar and open this process to competition. Prado deserves better than a sole source deal that keeps the status quo. In just the last 2 years, the current operator has done almost nothing to improve the course. The greens are struggling, the bunkers need work, and the facilities have barely changed. And yet, instead of looking for the best possible group to manage this public asset, the county is trying to push through a backroom deal with no competition. This is not how a golf course should be managed. If the current operator is truly the best option, then let them compete for it. The only fair solution is to open the lease to a competitive bid process and see who can bring the best investment, experience, and commitment to make Prado the best it can be. This course means too much to me and too much to the people to let it fall into the wrong hands. Let's get this right. Thank you.
Thank you. Eric Fixie.
Good morning, supervisors. I'm here this morning and represent a number of others that couldn't make it here just due to the timing of the meeting here. And I'm here regarding the future of the El Prado Golf Course, item number 37 on the agenda. We are asking you to pull this item from the agenda to further open this up for public bid. Negotiating with municipalities, especially when it comes to public land, taxpayer funds, requires more than just sole source negotiating. It requires strategic decision-making. It requires a commitment to transparency, fairness, and long-term health of the community. Today, I want to highlight a few of the important common sense negotiations with public municipalities, particularly when there are key issues at risk that must be carefully considered. One of the pressing concerns is the San Bernardino County's lease with the Army Corps. It involves potential violations of the lease terms, and the lease agreement between the county and the Army Corps is clear that it mandates fair and open process for subleases and third-party agreements. A sole source negotiation in this instance could violate several critical lease provisions. Without a competitive bid, how can the county guarantee that it's securing the best financial deal for the taxpayers, the community, the county, and the Army Corps? Currently, this county is suggesting a minimum lease negotiation of starting at $5,000 a month when you're currently receiving 25 to 30. How does that make any sense? This disparity raises an important question. Fair market value is driven by the market, not by just negotiating with one group. Looking at multiple land leases in the area, not a number that one group thinks is a fair market value. Would you ever sell your house without putting it on the market to see if you can derive more money for your house from the market? This lease requires the excessive revenue to be paid to the Army Corps every 5 years. Is the county ensuring it is maximizing revenue to meet the obligation, or are taxpayers potentially losing out? This lease requires that public use be prioritized and prohibits giving undue economic advantage to a single operator. So why is this group being considered? Has the Army Corps been properly consulted and approved this deal? If not, could this agreement be challenged down the road? Additionally, the county faces serious legal and financial risk if they're not careful. If the lease terms are violated, the Army Corps could demand payback, penalties, and even terminate the lease with the Prado Park. By bypassing a competitive bidding process, the county also opens itself up to lawsuits from interested parties who could claim that they were unfairly excluded. The lack of transparency in this process.
That's time.
Thank you very much for your comments today. That's the last request to speak that I have. We'll bring it back to the board for comment and discussion, if any, on consent calendar items.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If you don't mind, I'm just going to address some of the speakers here today because I have met with a few and been involved with the Prado Golf Course. Our intention on this board is to get a top-rate golf course. It has not been ran that way. References to the previous management has really deteriorated the grounds and the structures, which are county buildings. This item today is strictly to negotiate and see if there's a deal there. It will come back at a future board meeting to see what the commitment of the current leasee, and we do this all the time with other leases on our other parks throughout the county. We do with our leases, we continue on, we negotiate fair market values, we see what improvements the leaseholders will put into the facilities as moving forward. If there's a deal to be there, they can be brought back. If it's not a deal, then we can take another course going forward. Many of our subleasees out of our parks have continuations. Think about Calico Ghost Town and a lot of the vendors there. It's been there for a long time, but that's a way for the county to renegotiate. So we are kicking it to our professionals, our real estate department, to see if there's something there with a commitment of huge investment into upgrade the facilities and to maximize the return for all our residents, not just nonprofits and others that have continued to use this, but the facility has really been driven down in maintenance over the long-term lease we had. So this is go out and see if what's there and come back for a later date to see if there's a deal to be made. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll move the consent items.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Supervisor Cook.
Yeah, it's somewhat ironic that this discussion came up 100 years ago when I was growing up as a kid. I worked on a golf course. I think it was 8 or 9 years. I worked in college, everything like that. I am the world's worst golfer. Not a bad baseball, I consider myself an athlete, but every time I hit the ball, I hit somebody, normally in the back of the head. But people get excited about golf. I know, I've worked there, I've heard the swearing, the yelling, the throwing of clubs, but it is a release and people get very, very excited about it. And so for one, I never thought I'd be adjudicating an issue about a golf course. It was the best years of my life, although, cutting fairways is pretty boring. And if somebody's sick and you got to cut all the greens by yourself, it gets very, very tiring. It's physically tiring. But I got to know a lot of the golfers. They are probably the most passionate of any sport, maybe bowling or things like that. The only other people that got passionate were people listening to one of my bad speeches, and they would get excited too. So I kind of empathize with this. I don't kind of, I really do, to make sure that we do this right, because this is something where you go out there and you want to get rid of all your troubles and everything else. And it's not just baseball, football, or basketball, or some of the other courses. So I can understand the passion of some of our speakers. I don't know any of them. I don't even know what a golf course is. And I'm just relating my experience in the past as a kid, in high school and college. And I just want to weigh in that because of the speakers here, I just want to make sure we're doing this right. And I wish I had a solution. I'm not an expert. But a lot of people, they find their release. It's a different sport. It's one where people really get excited. And if we're going to adjudicate this in terms of where it's going, I want to make sure we do it right. I don't know whether we need another consultant.
It's going to come back to us. Luther, can you clarify that this will come back to us
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So this item, the way it's structured is effectively, it would allow the county, should the board approve this, it would allow county staff to negotiate with the current operator. That would be, we would negotiate to get a good contract for the county, one that makes investment into the facility that would return a good rate to the county to use that for other parks uses. And that contract, should we be able to reach a point where staff and the operator agree, would then come back to the board for approval. And we would be able to talk through the details of that agreement. At this point, we don't know the details of that agreement because we have not negotiated an agreement with them. But again, this item, should it be adopted, the second recommendation requires that action to occur by April 29th. If we do not reach an agreement with the current operator and bring that item for the board to adopt by April 29th, this item then directs staff to go out to open bid to do that. So the operators only had 2 years to make investment in this golf course. They have approached us and basically said it's not enough time for them to commit major dollars into this because of the risk it would put them at with such a short-term lease. So goal is to try to extend. Could we do a long-term lease? Allows them to amortize and recover their costs and have a return on investment for them and make good investment for the county. So,
Thank you very much. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? On the entire consent calendar or just item number 37?
Just that item.
Thank you. All
Thank you,
right.
Madam Chair. With that, the consent calendar is approved unanimously with Supervisor Cook voting nay on item number 37.
Very good. We do not have any discussion items on today's agenda, so we will move on to our public comments for items not on calendar today. And our first request to speak will be Larry Halstead, followed by Elaine Lee.
Good morning, supervisors, county staff, especially county council, as well as the citizens of this fine county at large. You know, I want you to notice I actually put on a coat and tie because I was thinking about this morning, like, well, maybe this will work, you know, because when I came here to speak on this issue about the burros and donkeys a month ago, it wasn't, you know, it might have been my first time at the donkey rodeo, but not the first time at the rodeo hunting for justice, accountability, trying to create change. And I used to think I was pretty good at being able to articulate the issues and marshal forward the arguments, et cetera. And you know, right at the beginning, what I was asking for is more transparency, and I was wondering, how did we get to this mess? And what I wasn't interested in hearing about, you know, residents complaining. No, what I wanted to know is, how is the decisions made? And what, you know, the deeper I get into it, you know, it keeps coming back of being staff. You know, I keep hearing a lot of fingers being pointed at the chair, but I had the opportunity to speak to my friend Supervisor Baca after the last meeting, and I asked him the question. He goes, no, it's handled by staff. And I think this really brings up a bigger issue, and I think one that the county councilor needs to be looking into and assessing the liability in how we're, first of all, putting everything on the consent calendar and we're letting staff do it. I heard at least 4 of these people on the golf issue talk about, you know, not putting it on the consent calendar. They wanted it pulled. And, you know, this item of these donkeys should have been agendized a long time ago. But the deeper I dive into this, the more I'm understanding that this is a matter that is being handled by staff and all along. So, you know, let me try and be a little bit more clear and say specifically what we're hunting for.
who made this decision, what people, what were their qualifications, what studies were they looking at? You know, it shouldn't be this much work to get this, and now FOIA requests are being ignored. But real quickly, in just a couple of seconds left, I want to bring up the fact that what the county could do right now to help mitigate this thing is get code enforcement involved in the flower vase issue at Montecito. It's incredibly negligent, and it's creating liability, and they should have the right for safe passage, not just for donkeys, but for humans as well. And so I think it's time we bring a little more accountability and get some answers here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Elaine Lee, who will be followed by Juliana Moreau.
Good morning. I wasn't prepared to speak, but as a longtime resident of the Valley and I'm retired Forest Service, you know, these herds do need protection, and there's a lot of issues with locals, you know, mistreating them and everything, and there's no one to handle the calls that they get for the burros, so somebody has to advocate for the burros. And, you know, I volunteer at an animal sanctuary where we take care of burros that we have there, and, you know, somebody needs to advocate for the burros. That's, you know, and, you know, like I said, was totally unprepared for this, but I think that they do need to have someone to handle the calls with the burros, and, you know, I'm sorry I'm unprepared for this, but I think they need to be defended because they are protected by law, and there's a lot of mistreatment that goes on with them, and starting with feeding them stuff they should not eat that can actually make them sick. And I know herd control is another issue too, and I think sterilization of the males would be the way to go because, you know, these herds are getting large, and I know back in '97, Forest Service did a roundup with the burros, and they were all adopted out, taken up the Ridgecrest and adopted out. And so now the problem is a lot of them are going into the neighborhoods and getting in the trash, and, you know, it's not a good thing for them to do that. And somebody needs to be an advocate for them. And I know I don't have a lot to say, but that's where I stand with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Juliana Moreau, followed by Jessica Barajas.
Good morning. My name is Juliana Moreau, and I'm the founder and president of Grateful Heart Animal Sanctuary, a nonprofit organization located in Big Bear City. I respectfully would like to speak to you about the undomesticated burros of the Big Bear Valley. I spoke to George Harding on July 22nd, 2024. I had been receiving many calls from residents of Big Bear regarding injured, sick, and orphaned burros. Residents looking for someone to help. I was looking for information as to whom the residents could contact in these situations with the burros, since I was not allowed to help. I was told by San Bernardino County that SB 371 didn't include the undomesticated burros of the Big Bear Valley. George was receptive to my request and emailed me an informational handout, which I posted on many of the Big Bear Facebook pages, as well as our Sanctuary Facebook page. The brochure stated the following: for injured or deceased burros, residents can call San Bernardino County Animal Care. For severely injured or deceased burros impeding a roadway, dial 911. For all other inquiries, residents can reach out to the U.S. Forest Service Big Bear office. The residents of Big Bear have been calling Animal Care for sick, injured, and orphaned burros, and this is what they are being told by Animal Care. We only come up if the burro is bleeding. If we come up to get the burro, it will be euthanized. We just let nature take its course. I know this because after getting these responses, the residents call me, desperate to get help for our boroughs. I get way too many calls, which tells me that animal care does nothing to help our boroughs. Their solutions are only death for our boroughs. Why isn't animal care doing anything to help our Big Bear Valley boroughs like they are supposed to? Why are concerned residents being given these responses by animal care? Why are these the only actions that animal care will seem to agree to? We don't want our boroughs euthanized. We don't want them out in the wild, sick, injured, orphaned, with no help to get them the care they need, just to succumb to suffering and the fate of nature. That is inhumane and cruel. Donkeyland is there to help donkeys. Why couldn't sick, injured, or orphaned boroughs of Big Bear Valley be taken to them for care and sanctuary? They're willing to do that. Why doesn't SB 371 apply to the Big Bear boroughs that end up on private land? Why can't Grateful Heart Animal Sanctuary work with Donkeyland to help our boroughs when needed? Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Jessica Barajas, followed by Patricia Sierra.
Hello, I'm Jessica. I'm a resident of Moreno Valley. We just bought 2 years ago. The reason why? Because we love the burros. We're here for the burros. It was not easy for me to get here. I have a toddler, you guys see. I'm here inconveniencing myself, inconveniencing everyone here, and I will continue to do so. Just today, I drove through the canyon. There was like 10 when there should be hundreds. We want answers. I didn't come with a speech either. I didn't come prepared either. But I'm here advocating for them. We have Donkeyland. Why were they transferred? I want to use the rest of my time to get some answers because there seems to be dialogue on any other subject. I was here last month. You guys skipped out. Nobody said anything to us. I'd like to know where they are. There's donkeys, little babies, looking for their mama. I cannot imagine being separated from my baby. Ms. Dawn Rowe, I don't know if you're a mother. I called your office. I got no response. I heard nothing back. I'm here again, and I'm gonna keep coming. I'm gonna let my son inconvenience this. I let him have screen time this time. I'm not gonna do that again next time. I'd like to know what we're doing to bring back our burros. I'd like to know what we're doing with the help of Donkeyland to bring back our burros and secure them. I'd like an answer. We'd all like an answer. My son would like an answer. Can we get an answer? Anything? We will keep coming. I'm potty training my son right now. It's not gonna be a...
Everyone's tired of hearing of our donkeys, but I'm gonna go ahead and enlighten you guys a little bit on that. My name is Patricia Sierra. I'm from Moreno Valley, and I'm here to discuss some concerns as far as January 6th, 2025 at around 5 p.m. My husband and I were driving down Redlands and Ironwood. We found ourselves driving looking for a church and ended up in the Riverside landfill. We were approached by a cowboy in a black Honda, and another man behind him in a vehicle got out of their cars and was questioning us why we were there. It wasn't too alarming, but at the same time, it did put some fear into us. Mind you, my husband's a quadriplegic. I'm driving a disabled van. As we're going down the hill, back down to Redlands and Ironwood, this gentleman followed me until I hit Redlands, made a left. As I'm going down, there's cattle trailers with Texas plates, okay? Why are there cattle trailers with Texas plates in Moreno Valley? Down Ironwood, there's a field, usually about 60 donkeys. No donkeys in sight, not one. The next day, January 7th, I'm coming home from a doctor's appointment around 5 p.m. The gentleman that was wearing with 2 lifted trucks with Texas plates made us feel unsafe, uncomfortable, especially in Moreno Valley where we live and reside, along with other people that are feeling unsafe. So my question is to you, if that wasn't their jurisdiction for PVDR, why were they in Moreno Valley? Why were there trailers? Why were these people harassing me? I'm disabled myself and my husband. It took a lot for me to get here. I'm on chemotherapy. So again, where are the answers? Where are the donkeys that were taken, the 60 donkeys or more? All these questions, and we have not gotten answers. So I'm asking you for more answers. And also with PVDR, please don't ever do business with Mike Myers again, please. It's devastating. Absolutely devastating and disgusting. The horrific abuse.
That's time.
Thank you very much. That is the last request to speak that I have. Our meeting is adjourned. Our next regularly scheduled Board of Supervisors meeting will be here in Chambers at 10 a.m. on February 25th. Thank you.